Boys and girls. Ooh, boys and girls, I started early because my brain and my eyeballs are bleeding. Let's just kill some time. It's 8:55 Central Standard Time. This is not a stream, a live stream, but this is what YouTube calls, what do they call this? They call it a webcam. Live webcam. So this will be recorded for later watching, but for now we are live. I can get your comments on chat, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So let me see if I can say something. I don't know. We're just getting started. We're just kind of warming up. It still says 8:55 on my clock. I wonder what time it really is. Let's wait. So, while we're taking this time, let me just tell you, we're going to go over a lot of things tonight. Yeah, the clock is ticking. We're trying to work out these kinks. Will I ever have a live stream? Probably not. It is so incredibly difficult. I'm a Mac user, and that has really just set me way back. And everything seems to be really easy for the PC guys to do this. If you know anything about it, feel free to chime in and let me know how the easiest way is to start doing streaming and not live webcam. Live webcam is just basically me doing what I used to do out on the fly bar, and that's what that is. Just a preamble here, guys. We're hanging on. We got a few more minutes. A lot to talk about tonight. And I hope that you guys get something out of this. I've had a couple of comments lately, and they have been not so favorable. And so I want to talk about that maybe a little bit too, because there's going to be a lot of time. Because you know what I'm going to do to start this out? You know what I'm going to do? Got to have a Dr. Pepper. If you're not paying attention now, Dr. Pepper is the national drink of Texas. Yeah. Well, I know Texas is not a nation, but anyway, would you like to see me put Visine in my eyes to stop the bleeding? I probably need to do that. It's so awful, man. This was so stressful just to get it going, but here we are. And it's 8:57, so we're going to let the time just roll on by. I guess we'll edit this. I don't know if we want. I'm not going to pick my nose for you, I'll tell you that much. You know what I was thinking before I started all going down this road right here? Wouldn't it be funny if, like, you did one of these and your ex-wives showed up, and they just burned you at the stake? I know you can shut them out and you can block their comments and stuff like that, but I thought about that. I was like, wow, that would be wild. I'd like to see some guy just do live streams where all his or girl or all old girlfriends or boyfriends just showed up and just burned them at the stake. I think that'd be pretty fun. Probably go viral. I'd probably start making money if I did that, but I don't have that many wives, not that many old girlfriends either. So that's what that is. It might not work for me, but it might work for you. Think about it. Get back to me. Give me credit where credit is due. Maybe you will be the next YouTube star, because it's not going to be me. Ooh, 2 minutes and counting. We're counting down. Wow. I don't know. I've got this new location for the doing some recording coming up when it cools off. I call it the hot box because it's so hot there right now that well, it was hot. It was rainy today, so it was pretty cool. We had cool weather. I'm trying to avoid talking about what I've got written down here, because then I would get ahead of myself, and we don't want that now, do we? All right, 8:59, according to that wonderful clock, on 4 minutes in, but really not even any minutes in. When we hit the 9 o'clock, maybe some people will show up. I doubt it, but we're going to give it a go. It's going to start in just a few seconds now. I don't know how the rest of this works when it comes to editing it out. Maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. It is what it is. I do know that it is 9 o'clock, and it is time here at the Texas Flycaster YouTube channel. It is time for, you know what, a Dr. Dr. Pepper. I got a cream soda this time. You know, I like the cream soda sometimes. And the thing is it's still a Dr. Pepper, the national drink of Texas. Welcome, everybody, to the not stream. This is what they're calling on YouTube, which I think is their weakest part of their whole setup on YouTube. It's called a webcam, a live webcam. So I guess it has less features, and I can't invite people. Ice was melting while I was waiting. My eyes were burning. It was so stressful just getting this going, you know. But we're up and running now. I'm going to take my time, try to kill my nerves by getting high on sugar right here. This is not a sugar-free. I don't do this very often. But you know what? It makes me talk a lot faster. Okay, because Texans, you know, they talk kind of slow. And I know this is going out to a lot of people and a lot of places. So we'll just see how this all turns out. I don't know about you, but I've had a pretty bad case of fish derangement syndrome so far this season, and for good reason. The weather has sucked. We're going to try and touch all the bases this time. It should get us a little way down the road in Texas fly fishing. Yeah, that's what this is all about, is fly fishing in Texas, so bear with me. The weather? Well, it depends on where you are, but north central Texas is having its ass handed to it this May and the first week of June. Rainfall amounts around here vary by neighborhood. So that, I mean, you could be a block away and not get you get an inch less of rain than like we got last night, which was 4.25 inches here at the house. Can you believe that? 4.25 inches. It's crazy, man. It goes block by block. I'll tell you what, if you subscribe to my channel, you probably saw I dropped a short today from the Elm Fork of the Trinity River right there at the dam of Ray Roberts. And that thing is still open. They've dialed it down a little bit, you know, but there's no telling how much rain fell in the actual watershed for Ray Roberts. You know, that watershed is that area that feeds the lake, and it's almost 700 square miles of drainage into Ray Roberts. Amazing. But, you know, I do those quick little vertical shorts to get people to come out to Ray Roberts because it's really a beautiful place. And it's getting discovered, okay? It's getting more crowded, more people and everything. So there is that. But you know, there's not a lot of people talking about fishing every week in shorts about Ray Roberts. So that's what I'm doing. A little bit of that, trying to do it every week, keep people up to date, tell them where not to go, because there's many more places not to go than there are to go. But it really is about over as far as being a hidden treasure. Now, if you go to the regional maps for TPWD, I am smack dab in the northern middle of the Piney Woods. No, I'm sorry. Prairies and Lakes region. Piney Woods to the east. Well, in the Prairies and Lakes region right now, that is generally the region that is getting blasted by this weather relentlessly over and over and over again. So it's been hard. If you go east of here, if you go see my friend Flyfish Fork, he's got a YouTube channel. He has not suffered nearly as much from the rain as we have right here, and that's only about 100 miles east of here. In Texas, that's a hop, skip, and a jump. So that's the thing. We can argue over what is causing this, but we do have a pattern now. For 2 years, we've had this kind of weather pattern this time of year. I don't know what caused it. I don't know. I'm not going to go out there and say, you know, it's global anything or local whatever. But anyway, 2 years straight, it's been like this, and it's been really challenging. So, you know, it is what it is, and I'm not liking it too much. So it's time to travel. Let me tell you about other parts of Texas. You know, they take some of the runoff from this region, you know, downriver. So they are also taking it on the chin. but there's a huge amount of area of Texas that isn't affected by our rains here in Central Texas, and they're mostly, lakes that are kind of suffering, really, like Travis. And then there are rivers that are, I don't. If I don't go there, I don't talk about them really, because I want to see it, or at least get somebody that's right there on the spot to tell me about it. And that would be like the Guadalupe, the Colorado, San Marcos, all those central river systems. I mean, I saw something from Danny Scarborough the other day. He's down there in the Devil's River. I don't think he's ever going to leave. I don't blame him either. Great place. I've never been there. Got to go. Man, anybody that wants to go, take me with you. Anyway, Texas is a huge state. I'm not going to prognosticate about those places I do not go. For me, I'm finding some relief fly fishing private ponds, and my luck as for pond access is finally lined up. And you may have seen my video that dropped earlier this week on small pond outside Crum, Texas. I'll put that link right up there if it's possible. I don't know how this is all going to turn out, if it's possible or not. Anyway, small ponds are taking it hard too. The one I was on actually had been hit by a straight line wind and had debris all in it and everything else. And it was and it also seemed to have like a green algae bloom. So you would have to go look at that video, watch it. I caught a couple of nice bass, really nice pond bass. Brutal fighters. The pond fish, sometimes they've never been caught. So when you catch one on a fly, they're very shocked. Okay, let's talk about the salt. If the salt is your thing, we are probably looking at wind for another couple of weeks. That's Texas for you. The wind always blows. Remember what Lefty said? If it ain't windy, it ain't fly fishing. So we deal with the wind any way we can, but start early before the wind starts up. Concentrate on daytime during the new moon and darker times on full moon. So I have a lot of sources for you. I'm going to go over those. I've been over these before. These are the sources that I use when I put together a detailed report, which I'm not doing tonight. I'm just doing a once over, trying to get all the kinks worked out of the system, and it is so bad that I don't know if it's ever going to happen. And so far, nobody showed up, which doesn't bother me a bit because it's such a rocky start. Here are it's probably a pretty complete list of the sources I use. Okay. This is what lets you know before you go or not go. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, that is, of course, the Corps of Engineers, and it is a data mine of information when it comes to water flow, dam releases, and lake levels. So that's a good one. Secondarily, TPWD, if it's a non-scientific report, in other words, they're fishing reports, take them with a grain of salt, but check them too. You got to still look at them no matter what. That's what I'm trying to say. Subscribe to their text message service, and you will be notified usually on a Thursday and maybe on a Friday morning, depending on if they have a short week or what the government's doing that week. But typically, I'll get a text message on a Thursday morning that the reports are out, and I will go to those and check their ratings on the different lakes. It's not about rivers, the different lakes in Texas. So that's another one. And kind of those are almost in order. Corps of Engineers really goes up in ranking as far as importance during times like this when there's so much rainfall, so much fluctuation in dam releases, and so much river fluctuation. Now we get a little more interesting. Texas Insider Fishing Report has been on for a lot of years, like 8 years or 8th year or something like that. I mean, good show. They break it down into regions also, but they're different shaped regions from the TPWD shapes. So very well done, in my opinion. They have generally a theme for a show, but then they get reports from these actual fishermen and guides really they're all guides in their region. So, if you're a guide, you're going to kind of make things maybe a little better than they are, but pretty dang good, actually. So take a listen, a watch to that. I watch it on YouTube. It broadcasts on some of your networks and different cable services that you have, but you can find it on YouTube. It's Captain Rick Murphy out of Florida. So they're out of Florida, and that's where they do the recording, but they get call-ins from the guides in Texas and to fill in the blanks, and they do a really good job. So do that. You'll thank me later. Really good freshwater and saltwater, but those guys are salty over there, so they do spend more time on the salt and listening and talking about salt, which I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Okay, that's a show. Then there's NOAA, tides and currents. That's indispensable for saltwater fly fishing on the Texas Gulf Coast because it has tides. And you need your tides and tide charts, and you can chop those up any way you want, and those will be very helpful to you. NOAA, and that I'll put all this down in the description, the link to that. Your moon phases, okay. The moon, I don't think there's any debate. It's pretty important to fishing, saltwater and freshwater, and there's reasons for that. And I'm just gonna go out there and stake my claim on the moon phases. The Old Farmer's Almanac, great, easy to understand and look at and everything else. So that is a great source for your moon phases. Now I've taken you through tides, I've taken you through moon phases, I've taken you through water flow, and I've taken you through human reporting from a extreme bias TPWD to a less bias group there at Texas Insider Fishing Report. So that is pretty broad, and that's what you want, is a really broad picture to form your narrow choice about where you yourself and you are going to go fly fishing on any given day, any given weekend, any given week, or like me for the rest of your life. But no, not exactly, but close. Last but not least, another guy that's climbing in my rankings of importance because of the weather. This guy's a tripping dude. I mean, I don't know. He's a really interesting cat. Max Velocity. He has a YouTube channel that's blown up to, I think he's got 1 million subscribers now. This guy can tap into these cams that are on these storm chasers anywhere in the United States and plop those up on the screen. And he seems to be able to analyze conditions wherever they are happening. And max velocity, that guy's pretty dang good. It's just amazing amount of data he's crunching right there on the scene live. A lot of times live, he'll go live for major weather events. Let me go to a reminder for you guys. How deep are we into this? 18 minutes. Man, time. Well, actually, we're only 14 minutes because I wasted about 5 there, just kind of warming up and working off my nerves. It was so hard. Okay, reminder, tomorrow night, that would be June 5th, Dallas, Texas, Sawgrass Party. You've got to get the information from me. Go to that party. It's always a good time. If you don't know what it looks like to go inside a place that basically warehouses and makes fishing rods and fly rods, you owe it to yourself to have a good evening. Free. I think they got food. They got, definitely got drink. And go check that out. The information is down in the description with any luck at all. If not, sawgrassrods.com. Go there. There'll be something on their blog. Guys, one of the ways I get by is making fly mats. You've seen them before. They're very unique as far as the way they're designed compared to other people's designs. Been very successful. If you have a skiff and you are trying to figure out how to keep your line on your deck or a sup or a kayak, these mats, it's a rubber mat. It just has these fingerlings on it. I've got one back there somewhere. Yeah, back there in the background hanging up. You see it right behind me. And I can make those in just about any color, even glow in the dark. We do Louisiana orders black all the time. It's the strangest thing. But anyway, I sell a lot of black ones in Louisiana down in the bayou. But take a look at the mats. There's a link to it, and that is on my website, texasflycaster.com, a website that has been around since 2007. Hey, man, that's a long time. So, last but not least, let me tell you some of my friends and what they've been saying in Island Gym in Rockport. It's hot and dry, lots of specks showing up, slot specks, and plenty of redfish. And the snapper season is starting up, I guess, there. Windy, 10 to 20 miles an hour. And like I said, hot and dry. But he said the valley's been getting some rain. The Rio Grande Valley, that's south, quite a bit south. That's where I was. That's where I grew up. But no rain in Rockport. So there's that. CK in Port O'Connor, he's there for his birthday. Happy birthday today, Mr. CK. And it's been a long run, hasn't it, man? Known you for a long time. Very good. He's in Port O'Connor with his beautiful wife, and he said it's windy, but there are tails, and that means redfish tails, everywhere. So that's what's going on. Jeez, I get some personal stuff coming my way, and I really am happy that anybody would take the time to text me and let me know what conditions are like where they are. If you watch this after it is saved and recorded, I guess they call it, please feel free to watch and comment next time, and maybe we'll have somebody in the chat more so than just me, myself, and I. Let's sit here for a minute. I remember what I was going to talk about. Had a guy contact me. Said he's been with me, subscribed ever since the beginning. Went through everything with me, which I went through a lot with cancer in 2015 and all that. Everything, productivity dropped off. Everything dropped off for a while. So I appreciate anybody that stuck with me through that, of course. But he expressed frustration because he never knew what he was going to see on the YouTube channel, and on this YouTube channel, and kind of it's true. I've kind of spread out a little bit into broader spectrum of things I present, including holistic fly fisher, which I'm trying to decide whether or not to spin that off into a separate channel or not. Maybe you have an opinion on that. Let me know. But yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of different things going on. He wants me to cut to the chase. I think all he wants to see is money shots left and right of fish being caught and landed. And I just, what's happening here with the way conditions are, it just doesn't happen that way when you're battling the elements as I do for 2 years in a row. And I get a brief window in April when nothing's happening. End of April, go into May. Now we're into June, and it's stormy. Lots of rain, lots of unpredictability because of the weather. This is an outdoor sport, so there is that factor, And so what I try to do, and I'm going to be doing, is during this downtime like we have right now, is I'm going to be doing some more holistic videos. So you might want to tune out for a while. And those will be things to keep the traction, keep the tires on the road as we try to wait out this weather once again, like we tried to wait it out last year and it never happened. The season passed by just very unproductively here in north central Texas for what I do, which is I guide for carp on Lake Ray Roberts, north, about an hour north, a little less, of Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas. So if you are in the DFW Metroplex, give me a ring, give me an email, hit me on message, whatever you want to do, and I'll be glad to talk to you about guiding. I do it, I'm a little more I do a little less now than I used to because I'm kind of getting more picky about what I do with my time. But I still love putting people on fish. It's fun. So that's that. I hope you guys have gotten something out of this long, long road. It's a very much kind of a midpoint in the journey, and maybe we're crossing the Rubicon. I just don't know. But I want to continue to do this stream like this, which is called a webcam stream, which I don't get it, whatever. And I want to graduate and grow up to be a live stream where there's going to be more people coming on the video and I can add stuff to it as we're going along. It's extremely complex for my brain though, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get there or not, but I'm going to try again. Just to get that thing started, it takes 3 different programs open as far as I can tell, and it is just like juggling bowling balls. I've never done that. It's pretty hard. Thanks for watching, guys. We have got about 20 minutes into this. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to, but be sure you watch. Be sure you watch. And if you do subscribe, remember there's a pretty good payoff with my shorts because those will be short and sweet compared to this. And those will be very enlightening and help you know before you go. All right, we're going to cut this off. Thanks for it. Those of you who are watching post live, recorded in living color, and we will see you soon in the same format unless I can get this other thing figured out.